Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another wrestling video, and today I'm going to be reviewing this WWF Supertape released on Coliseum Video by the World Wrestling Federation back in 1990. And you know, some of these Coliseum Video releases, they're really underrated. The WWF actually back in these days did a very good job putting together these home video collections. There you see Hogan and Beefcake on the cover of this Coliseum video, and here you see the back featuring Jake Roberts, Ted DiBiase, the Bushwhackers, and more. Now then, to open this up, we had Sean Mooney as the host of this tape, and the very first match on this was Rugged Ronnie Garvin versus Mr. Perfect. A very physical battle between these two. We seen Perfect sell everything that Ronnie Garvin threw at him, and just a hard-fought battle all the way. Some good defense from Garvin, and some good offense from Mr. Perfect, or vice versa. Anyway, the ending came when Perfect showed his superb athleticism and got the perfect plex. Your winner, Mr. Perfect. Then we had a special profile on Luke and Butch, the Bushwhackers, in which we see their debut match against the Bolsheviks at Madison Square Garden, and a fun little match. I mean, the Bushwhackers were indeed a comedy team and were there for entertaining purposes as far as the WWE was concerned. Anyway, the end came when they did a double stomach breaker on Boris Zukov and got the win. Your winner, the Bushwhackers. Next was another Bushwhacker match, the Brooklyn Brawler and Bad News Brown. What a combination, huh? Both, one from Brooklyn, one from Harlem, against the Bushwhackers. This was sort of like a squash match, I would say, but the Brawler and Brown did get in some good licks on the Bushwhackers, but the ending came when the battering ram was done, and they nailed the Brawler with the battering ram and then got the victory. Okay, and then the third and final match on the Bushwhacker profile was the Bushwhackers taking on the Powers of Pain from the Maple Leaf Gardens. And, you know, not the best tag team match I ever seen, but it was way too slow and short, but the crowd was not really into it at all. Anyway, the ending came when Mr. Fuji got up on the ring apron and tossed the cane, I believe, if I remember correctly, and they nailed the Bushwhackers with it, did the Powers of Pain, causing a disqualification. Your winner by DQ, the Bushwhackers. Okay, and then one of the best matches on this set was Tito Santana taking on Ravishing Rick Rude, and what a back and forth battle this was. This is probably the best match on the tape, or the second best match on the tape. I would have to debate that. But anyway, after a match that lasted for like 20 minutes, we seen Tito Santana try to get the victory with a sunset flip, but then Rick Rude sits down on him and then grabs hold of the rope for leverage and gets the pinfall. Your winner, Ravishing Rick Rude. We also had a segment entitled Call of the Action with Tony Schiavone, where he discusses moves of professional wrestlers. That was always interesting to see, as they enlighten fans more on WWF terminology. Okay, and then, now this was indeed probably the second best match on this tape. Jake the Snake Roberts taking on the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase from Madison Square Garden. And what a matchup, another long match that went at least 20 minutes. We seen Jake and DiBiase battle back and forth, a hard-fought physical battle. We seen why DiBiase is the mechanical wrestler that he is, and we see why Jake is so great at what he does as far as being the master of psychology and in-ring ability. Anyway, the end came when out of nowhere Jake just rolls up DiBiase for the pinfall and gets the victory. And then afterwards we seen Virgil and DiBiase attack Jake, and then they try to leave, but Jake gets back to his feet and he runs after them and he grabs Virgil and tossed him into the ring and hit him a few punches here and there, and then he tried to unleash Damien the Snake onto Virgil, but then DiBiase came and saved his man. Your winner by roll-up and pinfall, Jake the Snake Roberts. Like I said, this match, along with the Tito Santana Ravishing Rick Rude match, the best matches on the set. Okay, and then we had another little segment where they interview fans, where they talk about who's their favorite wrestler. A lot of them say the Ultimate Warrior is, and others say Hulk Hogan is. And then from there on, yeah, that was pretty much it. They mainly interviewed little kids. Probably about 90% of the people they interviewed were children, and they say Hogan is their favorite, the Warrior is their favorite. Then they compare the two and say which one is better. All the hype for WrestleMania 6 video that was to be released the following month. Okay, and then finally, the steel cage match. Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake taking on the Macho King Randy Savage and Zeus. Now this was a heck of a match. I mean, it was not the best steel cage match in the WWF, but it was pretty good. The fans made this match worth watching. They were so loud and they were so into it. We seen while Beefcake and Hogan made their way to the ring, Sensational Sherry slams the door on to Hogan's back, knocking him out, and then Beefcake was in there for a while being double teamed by Savage and Zeus, and then Hogan finally was able to make his way back to his feet and then eventually got in the cage, and then all four men went at it, back and forth, hard fought battle. And then the highlight of this matchup is when Savage went to the top of the cage. That guy indeed has great balance on his feet. Anyway, he stood from the top of the cage, was going to come down with a double axe handle with a chain, try to wrap a chain around the ring that I think the cage door was padlocked with, and try to come down onto Beefcake with it. But anyway, he missed, and it looked really like he really hurt himself when he just jumped from the top of the cage and Brutus nailed him in the stomach, and he just landed just like that in the middle of the canvas. Unbelievable. And then the ending came when Hogan, Beefcake and Savage eventually got out of the ring, and then we seen where it came down to Hogan and Zeus, and then Hogan, I guess the power of Hulkamania was too much for Zeus to overcome, and then Hogan just hulked up, tore into Zeus, the punches, the boot to the face, the body slam, and then delivered 3 leg drops. 3 leg drops to finish off Zeus. Your winners, Hulk Hogan and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. In, you know, a pretty good cage match. This match was actually aired on a pay-per-view called No Holds Barred, the match in the movie. And, you know, it was pretty good. I think it lived up to what it was expected to be as far as fan reaction was concerned. Anyway, Hogan and Beefcake win this one with the victory in the steel cage match. Anyway, guys, Supertape Volume 1, the very first one, a pretty good Coliseum video release. If you haven't checked this out yet, please do so. I'm going to put the link below in the description box so you can check out the Hogan Beefcake versus Savage and Zeus match, and trust me, it is indeed worth watching. And later on, if I can, probably another time, I'll try to find the link for Tito Santana versus Rick Rude and Jake the Snake versus Ted DiBiase from this very Coliseum video. But in the meantime, enjoy the steel cage match between Hogan Beefcake versus Savage and Zeus. Anyway, that's it for my Coliseum video review. I'll be back next week with more. I'll be reviewing another Coliseum video, and this other one I'm going to review. I'm sure you guys are going to remember this one for a long time. Anyway, guys, that's it. I'm out. Peace.